Hey there, it's Jill Blanchette with Green Thumb Stampers. I'm here again with my second alternate to the With Love and Gratitude Paper Pumpkin Kit. This one came from September of 2023. My second alternate is this one. Pull it up a little closer. I got a new light going on here right now, so I hope it doesn't have too bad of shadows. And then I just got plain white on the inside. So let's get to this one. I've got a copper clay at 11 by 4 1/4. You can fold it in half or score it at 5 1/2, and then burnish on that fold. I have a piece of basic white that is 5 1/2 by 3 3/4 because we want a little bit of a border on each side. So I'm going to go ahead and glue that down. Get a little more over here because I'm going edge to edge, so I want to make sure that I got some good adhesive all the way up to the edge. Just eyeballing that. Feel free to get out your ruler and make sure you've got the, same spacing on each side. Go ahead, like mine here has a little smidge of extra. Go ahead and just trim that off. You can use your paper trimmer or your snips, whichever works better for you. And now we're going to use the flap of the envelope that we had left over from one of our other cards. And I'm just going to glue that on there. Don't worry about the adhesive right here because we're going to cover it up. So I'm going to glue that onto, use my green glue because I want to make sure I get it stuck down good. And then we're just going to stick that right up to the edge. My paper's a little smidge wider than the envelope flap, so feel free to trim that little tiny bit off if that is going to bother you. Then I have one of the Deckled Circles dies. I believe it's the fourth one, the fourth largest, moving from the smallest up. I think it's the fourth one. So I've cut that out in Lost Lagoon, and then we're going to separate it. So I've already started this process. We're just going to break down those fibers and separate these two pieces from each other. This is one of the neat things with Stampin' Up's paper, is it's the same color all the way through, unless you buy the specific white core paper, but it's the same color all the way through, so we can get a totally different look. And you'll see that it's starting to break down. Okay, now I could pull this, but I'm going to get some resistance and it'll tear. So just keep using your scissors, your bone folder, bend it over. I'm like bending it over. I'm curling it, so to speak, and pulling. Just be careful because you don't want to rip it. Pull too hard, it will rip. And then make sure, you get all the way to the center. And then just keep looking at where it's going. So I'm going to pull it just for sake of time. I'm not getting that much resistance. But I'm going to just stop right here, and hopefully I wore a hole in it, but that's fine as long as one of them comes out good. I wouldn't have worn the hole through it. Oh, you could still use it. I could put it down like this and then just glue that down so that the hole is glued shut. And then you've got 2 circles from the to use from the one. So I just glued this flat onto the card front. Like this. And basically what I'm trying to do is cover up most of this glued part of the flap. And make it not quite so obvious that it is the flap of the card. Whoops. And then when you do this, breaking down the fibers, it also is like a faux suede technique and look. So give that a try if you've never done it. It's great on masculine cards for sure. Then I have the larger of the gold foil ferns that are in there, and I'm just going to put some dimensionals on the back because this I do want to pop up. Sorry about that. Mike's hollering at me. Had to pause for a hot second and talk to him. So I'm just going to put some dimensionals, like I said, on the fern. Not everything has to be popped up. It does look nice to have that extra dimension, but you know, you don't really need to pop up the circle and the fern and the words. So I'm just going to put those on there. I better put one more in this center area. That's too big for there, so I'll put it over here. We're just going to put that on kind of sideways, like that. Then I have a scrap piece of the copper paper, and I'm going to use my Versamark with the Grateful for You stamp. This is about 3/4 of an inch wide. You could cut it down a little bit to, you know, like a 1/2 inch or whatever works for you. And then I put some embossing powder on there. Oh lordy, I should have put my embossing buddy down. I'm in a hurry since Mike hollered at me to I gotta go, but I can't be in that big of a hurry because I'll mess up. Okay, so now I'm gonna go heat this. I'll be right back. All right, so I went and heat embossed that in gold. And then now we're just going to flag the ends. So I'm going to snip up to the center. And I could get my, hold on. Well, I must have not ordered it. There we have a punch that makes these flags tails like this. And I must not have ordered it yet. Or ever, if it's retired. My mom was talking about it, and I said, ooh, yeah. And then, Okay, so then I'm going to put some dimensional on the back of that as well. I'm going to cut it in half. Right here. And then I'm just going to stick it over here on the front of the card. Like so. And then, like I said, I just put a white piece on the inside. And I will glue that in place. No, yeah, I guess I will glue it. You could stamp on it. If you're going to stamp on it before you glue it in place. Just in case you gotta flip it over and do it again on the back. Because why? There's 2 sides to every piece of paper. And there we go. There's our second card.